Welcome back, loyal fight fans. Busy schedule, but nonetheless, we wanted to get you all the boxing information for the weekend that you so desire. My main man, Ronnie, on the ones and twos over here, keeping the shots straight. And yeah,
I'm looking at other things.
So on ESPN Plus this weekend, we have Shakur Stevenson taking on, I believe the guy's name is Yoshino. And Yoshino, I might be mispronouncing the hell out of this guy's name, but I do know, he beat Inu, who was a legit Japanese champ. It's like, okay, that's a good win. But then he went on his last win he's coming off of is beating Nakatani. And Nakatani is the guy that fought Vasily Lomachenko, and he got blasted. But when he fought Teofimo Lopez before that and was still fresh, Nakatani was a guy that gave Teo a real run for his money, went all the way in a close fight, close effort with him. So that's a solid win, not to mention that Nakatani is so tall and lanky. So that's a solid win for Yoshino. But the guy's undefeated. I believe his record is 16-0. He is durable. He's very powerful. Got 12 KOs out of those 16 wins. So he's no slouch. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm, picking him to beat Shakur Stevenson, but it's just important sometimes that we know the little back history of these guys. Just because he's a Japanese fighter that hasn't fought a lot here in the States, doesn't mean if you don't know who he is, we're not super familiar with him, doesn't mean he's not a great fighter and a durable, powerful guy with a lot of knockouts who's undefeated as the first kind of test at how Shakur Stevenson can do in this 135-pound weight class, as he has moved up, vacated those 130-pound belts, and god damn it, is this weight class just stacked to all hell, man. I mean, you got Vasily Lomachenko, Devin Haney eventually, mark my words, could win or lose anything. He's going to move up, probably after this Loma fight. Very hard for him to continue to make this weight, and he's got all of the belts and already defended them once as well. But nonetheless, still Devin Haney here, Vasily Lomachenko here, Ryan Garcia Tank to fight later in this year. They're in the 135-pound weight class, just absolutely stacked. But Shakur Stevenson should get the job done. And he is so talented that we almost want him to get a stoppage on this undefeated, very durable fighter from Japan here. But we'll see if he can. Either way, that should be a hell of a fight. And that ESPN undercard, you guys, you need to watch that. Need to watch the undercard because they do their undercards very, very, very well. A lot of times in boxing, we can look out to be like, oh, look, I like this guy, so I want to watch him fight. Kind of no matter who he's fighting, right? Then we all know of like the few times that we'll get really good fights, but they're a main event, and that's it. And then the undercard is just kind of shitty. And that's just true, unfortunately, a lot of times, even when you're like a hardcore boxing fan. There's not much to be had on these undercards, but ESPN Top Rank, with their prospects that they bring out of the amateurs and they bring out of the Olympics, they load their undercards with these guys. So the undercards got Keyshawn Davis coming out of the, straight from the Olympics. Keyshawn Davis, a real, more than a prospect, guaranteed to be one of the next big things in boxing. And then we got Jared Big Baby Anderson, the American heavyweight, who absolutely just brutalizes people. He's moving up. He's getting a proper step up. Top Rank knows how to move their prospects well. Very important. Everybody wants to see these guys jump around. Oh, he's a name. Now I know him. Let's see him fight this guy. But this is how you destroy somebody's progression in the sport. And Top Rank moves their prospects very well. Doesn't set them back, but little steps ahead. Also making sure they, from a business angle, they're getting their investments. But yeah, Keyshawn Davis on the undercard. Jared Big Baby Anderson is a heavyweights on this undercard. We got Bruce Shushu Carrington, who is another guy that is going to definitely own belts not such a long time, couple years, depending how they move. And that's another guy to keep your eyes on. Shushu Carrington has some, you know, in only the few pro fights, the handful of pro fights that he's had so far, has some absolute highlight reel knockouts where he's just killing guys, and you can actually see sometimes when they hit the floor, like their soul kind of leave their body a little bit. He has absolutely just, you know, devastated people. So that's a very good card. Then we have Sebastian Fundora as well. I believe it's on Showtime and not PBC. This should be a Showtime product. Sebastian Fundora's fighting. His sister's fighting on the undercard. Sebastian Fundora should run through this guy that he's fighting. That's another thing. So I really wanted to kind of highlight the Japanese fighter that you know, that is fighting Shakur Stevenson, as that is the best fight in boxing this weekend. And that undercard, I mean, just absolutely sells it through the roof. But we were supposed to get Bam Rodriguez fighting. I looked up to see on that undercard, because I heard maybe that undercard has a couple, like an Akhmadaliev guy that should be fighting, that should have fought the hell's his name, Cool Boy Steph with the belts, but now it's going to be him and Inoue. That undercard was supposed to be kind of good too, but then I saw that they took like Bam out of the fight, I believe, or he had to pull out for some reason. So I guess that's not happening. So just really scratch the DAZN things, you guys. If you're looking how to manage your time, what fights to watch, check out the ESPN Top Rank fights. But the Fundora fight, always, I confused him, old Sebastian, that bastard. I confused him with Brandon Figueroa the last, because it was still fair. Figueroa is another tall, lanky guy that likes to fight in the inside and put out a high pace, not use his jab much. But this was the guy who was talking about the towering inferno, Sebastian Fundora. If you heard that rant last time, just go ahead and place it into this one in your mind. That's what I meant a lot of that for. This guy's fucking like 7 feet tall, and he weighs like 37 pounds soaking wet. He is just an absolute freak of nature. But the way the guy just doesn't throw jabs is absolutely frustrating to anybody that knows anything about boxing, really. It's just like, you watch the guy just like, I'm gonna fight in the inside, and he fucking makes it work for him. So it's actually pretty cool how everybody's driven absolutely mad, even if they love the guy, you know, they're still, if they're a boxing purist, they're driven absolutely insane over old Fundora, because he will just, I mean, he's gonna basically, you guys are gonna watch a 7-foot guy fight a 5.5-foot guy on Saturday on Showtime, you guys. Okay, free plug there. But you're gonna watch this guy basically, like, if he has to get on his knees to fight on the inside, that's what he's gonna do. But until next time, loyal fucking fight fans, let's make more fight fans. Stay tuned for Ryan Garcia Tank, as we always preview the fights before they happen every single weekend on this show. I'm gonna see if we can help the views a little, help the algorithm a little bit, and put this one out sooner, so we don't just have 4 days where people are caring about it before it happens. So we're gonna release that. Got some new Unknown to Casuals that'll be coming out pretty soon. And another thing in the works that I'm working on is worst robberies in boxing, because people have been driving me fucking insane talking about this is a robbery. Somebody had the audacity in the comments on my cousin's show that when we were talking about that epic best women's fight of all fucking time in any combat sport, Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano, absolutely brilliantly, you couldn't make a fight that was closer than that, and some fucking assholes in the comments, this was a robbery. So I'm gonna show you guys what actual boxing fucking robberies look like, and it's not gonna be pretty.